And today in our signature segment, See the Stories, we will delve deep into the psychological perspective of juvenile delinquency, from prevention, exploring the minds of young people, and strategies that can help them to navigate a brighter path. So joining us with us today is personal growth psychologist Phoebe Ramadina. So
Phoebe,
hello.
thank you so much for coming. I mean, this has been the focus and the talks of the town as well. Juvenile being put in military barracks, and whether this is actually the appropriate way to shape them into somebody better. Yeah. Okay. So perhaps let's start with psychological factors that drive, teenage delinquency or misbehavior that the youths are doing nowadays. What do you think?
When we're talking about the teenage delinquencies, it's a form of criminal activities that are conducted by individuals below 18, right? So we are usually saying that teenagers are more like transitioning age when they are transitioning from the childhood to becoming adult. So they are testing many things. They are exploring themselves. They are experimenting with their life a little bit, and they're trying to fit into the society. So with their need to develop sense of autonomy, they are trying to some sort of doing a little rebellious things usually. In a normal rebellious settings, it can be a form of like staying up late, come home late from school, or playing with friends. But when we are talking about delinquencies, it became much more severe than that. They are conducting something that are more harmful to others, right? The psychological factors are their need to be able to develop sense of autonomy.
Sense of autonomy. And also there's also part of their surroundings, their friends. So how does the social environment influence teen behavior? Especially his, kids, especially teens, will spend more time with their friends. In school, in the social setting, extracurricular activities. How the surroundings?
That's so true. That's so true. We are humans are social
beings,
creatures, social creatures. So we are deeply influenced by others, and as you saying that teenagers are tend to spend time more with their friends. So their friends are the one who is shaping their behavior. They look after their friends that what are the cool things to do, what are the best clothes to wear at school, how to behave, and sometimes the rebellious behavior are seen as a cool behavior at school.
Okay.
So it can shape the behavior itself.
I have one question. It's out of my curiosity. I just wonder if in this rebellious setting, there is a lot of labeled troubled teenagers, but there is one kid who, the school said he or she is a good kid. How this settings doesn't affect this one kid?
What would it make it different?
It definitely affect them.
Oh, it's still?
Yeah, it's still affecting. So children or teenagers see what their surroundings are, what the surrounding is like. If the surroundings are reinforcing the positive behavior, supporting towards this positive behavior, so they will tend to be, I want to be cool like that good kid, instead of the bad kid that everyone hates, everyone don't disagree with.
It's part of conformity.
Yeah. Because teenagers are trying to fit in with their societies, right?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I know it's sometimes as parents, we're always thinking that when we give them acknowledgement enough so that they don't have this curiosity too much to fit in this and fit in that, because they have to know which one is right, which one is wrong as well, right?
Yeah.
But as we see what happens nowadays, from your perspective, is it the right way to put juvenile delinquency kids or people into military barracks just to shape them into somebody better? Or is there any other way to actually make them understand? Because as you mentioned, they're doing trial and errors and everything. Not necessarily that they're naughty.
Yeah, it's true that when we're talking about this psychological approach that are appropriate, when talking about teenagers, we cannot talk only about the teenager itself. We have to talk about the support system surrounding their lives also. So we always try to use a more systemic approach, such as family-based interventions, family skills training, or even multi-sectoral training. So not only the children or the teenagers that are being treated, but also the parents, the school, the educators, or another person surrounding their life is also being trained.
Is it wrong if I say juvenile delinquency is it's an output of the system, you think?
It can be so, because children see, children do, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They see examples.
Yeah. So when we are, where the society is performing any violence or more like aggressive behaviors, so these children will be modeling them. So they tend to,
Copy.
Copy and do more aggressive behaviors.
Yeah. Well, in the good, good examples, for example, when parents and kids have very good communication, where the parents can actually guide him or her through whatever that he's going through or she's going through. So what do you think on how to build a good communication way so that children can actually be prevented from this misbehavior?
Yeah. I think parents are really still have to be the leading guidance for their children, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that we can do as a parents is to foster the open communication. We can start by, we are the one who's opening up to them. We are trying to telling them stories about how our day went. If we're feeling something, we're feeling good today, we're feeling,
It's good.
we're feeling a little bit upset today. So they know that this conversation is a safe place for them to, open up and tell the parents if they are facing any discomfort at school, any concern, any struggles. So the parents can guide them to the right path and prevent them from doing the misbehavior.
Yeah.
So of course, because children see and children are so copying, so also teenager.
Yeah.
And there's also parents, but there's also his surroundings. So how can society collectively create supportive environment for teens' mental health? Because mental health is part of, especially for teenagers concerned. They open with social media, and they also aware that even since in elementary, they already aware with, okay,
This
I need to be aware.
generation
Yeah.
is very
This
aware
generation,
of the
the
mental
digital
health.
generation,
Yeah.
yeah.
How about to
True.
do that, to create a supportive environment?
Yeah, I think collaboration is the key. It really took a village to raise a kid, right? The parents cannot stand by themselves to raise the kid, so they can collaborate with the school, collaborate with the surroundings, sometimes collaborate with the grandparents, collaborate with the nanny to create a better surrounding. So if their parents are trying to create a supportive environment, they have to pick a school that supports their values. And then if the parents can also work with professionals to work with the schools to prepare them to know the sign of early distress among teenagers, right? So because professionals are not day-to-day basis
Together
to
or viewing
to contact with the teenagers. Parents and teachers are usually the one who's trying and having a daily conversation with them. So we're trying to make the parents and the teachers to be like the first responders to if if the teenagers are facing any discomfort, any change in the behaviors, yeah, so
they are the ones who can actually be in the
What is the sign?
Oh yeah, is there any sign that...
Any sign for that the teenager already give us a sign that, okay, I'm going to do bad, I'm not feeling well, maybe mentally. Is there any sign?
Yeah, teenagers can be very hard to predict, right?
That's true.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to ask them every single minute. Sometimes what they show is not what they feel.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But we can also look at the changes of behavior. Yeah, for example, if they're usually like going with this group of friends that are kind, that are doing well in school, and then they were like trying to new different groups that are more towards the rebellious, or it might be just they're trying to going on a new concert band that we're not familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we cannot make them, you know, like trying to investigate them because
Right.
they're
They
close.
don't like
they
feeling
don't like the
threatened
feelings.
and investigated.
So we can, back to the open communication, ask about them. What are you up to for these days?
So as a parent, we need to open it first.
Yeah, and show our vulnerabilities as well, because we as parents, we made mistakes in the old days as well.
Yes.
And I think the kids need to understand that it's
Yeah,
okay, but it's not too late, to change if you feel like, this kid is having a pattern that is quite concerning to the parents.
yeah.
Okay, so maybe, we sometimes are shaped by our surroundings and history, traumas, or maybe childhood experiences. How can these contribute to teenage misbehavior? How big is the magnitude of traumas and childhood experiences?
Yeah, any trauma faced by anyone, especially in a young age, are very affecting. Yeah. So if we're having a trauma, it might lead us to negative emotion, having negative emotion, and those negative emotions are when we are facing with negative emotion, we can see the rebellious things as a way out. For example, if a child is running away from home, we might see them as a rebellious kid or a stubborn kid, hard to deal with kid.
Right.
Yeah, but it might be they are going away from their home because they are facing with a family conflict. They're faced with their parental conflict. They're seeing the parents are shouting to each other.
So they just want to avoid this.
they're avoiding those by getting out of the house.
Looking for a quiet place, silence.
Yeah, so it can shape us. But I think we can not say that every child that has a trauma can always
to
misbehavior. So that's the interesting part. That's the important part of society, to create a supportive environment for these children with trauma, so they can still develop into healthy individuals.
Yeah, so always remember to instill good core memories every time to our children.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I'm new parents, so I learned a lot here.
Phoebe Ramadina, thank you so much for giving your perspective in terms of psychology to how to build up, teenagers, especially the ones with misbehavior. That is very important for everyone, handling teenagers in the house, or maybe you are a teenager yourself. And yes, we will still have a lot of other informations, which we promise that will be very entertaining and juicy as well. That's going to be after the break, so don't go anywhere, as we'll be coming back with more updates from Indonesia and around the world. So keep it right here on the 2 Hour News Show, and see you today.